At least 38 people, including 12 children, were injured as Russian missiles hit Ukraine's Kharkiv. Ukrainian officials say the missile struck during the evening hours on Tuesday. An apartment housing complex was also damaged in the strike. Meanwhile, Russia denied that it was deliberately targeting civilians. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russia was planning to attack the Zaporizhia nuclear plant. Zelensky said Russia had planted what looked like explosives on the roofs of buildings at the site. He added, and I quote, "The only danger to the nuclear reactor is Russia." Meanwhile, Russia has accused Ukraine of plotting to attack the Zaporizhia nuclear plant. The European Union confirmed it would not lift sanctions on Kosovo. They added that sanctions will only be eased if Kosovo de-escalates tensions in the country's north. In May, Kosovo placed ethnic Albanian mayors in the northern regions, which are dominated by ethnic Serbs. This led to 2 incidents of violence. NATO had to deploy troops to quell the unrest. After this, the EU imposed political and economic sanctions on Kosovo. UK's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said rising inflation did not mean his government's policies were wrong. Sunak said his administration was using the right toolkit to ease inflation. Currently, the UK's inflation is higher than most major economies. After Rishi Sunak took office in October last year, Britain's inflation has dropped from 11% to 8.6%. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said his troops were completing the operation in Jenin city in West Bank. Netanyahu said that once the counter-terrorism operation would be completed, the troops would withdraw. However, he further added, and I quote, "Jenin is not a one-time operation. At least 10 civilians were killed in the Jenin Raid." Israel has deployed over 1,000 troops to target an alleged militant command center. Meanwhile, Israel's military used fighter jets to strike an alleged weapons facility in Gaza. Israel claimed it successfully destroyed a militant facility as part of a preemptive operation. After the air raid, rockets were fired from Gaza towards Israel. Israeli officials say all rockets were intercepted. A truck rammed into pedestrians in Israel's Tel Aviv on Tuesday. The driver then went on a stabbing rampage. At least 8 people were wounded in the attack. Israeli officials say they arrested a 20-year-old Palestinian as the main suspect. The attack comes after Israeli troops killed at least 10 civilians during the Jenin Raid in West Bank. Iran was granted full membership to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization on Tuesday. This was after India hosted the virtual SCO summit chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Iran is now the 9th full member of the SCO alliance. Iran had applied to the membership almost 15 years ago. US President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden hosted military families at the White House. This was to celebrate America's Independence Day on the 4th of July. Hundreds of military families gathered at the South Lawn. They enjoyed the musical performances arranged for them. Meanwhile, President Biden called for gun control on the Independence Day holiday. Biden said, and I quote, "Banning assault weapons will make a big difference." This is after the US witnessed 3 mass shootings ahead of the 4th of July celebrations. At least 10 people were killed in mass shootings in Texas, Baltimore, and Philadelphia. There have been over 340 mass shootings in the US this year. The Central American nation of Guatemala has begun reviewing ballots from the first round of the presidential elections. This is after frontrunner Sandra Torres challenged the results. In the first round, Torres trailed behind anti-corruption candidate Bernardo Arevalo. Sandra Torres is the former First Lady of Guatemala. 30 Chinese migrants were rescued by Colombia's army at sea near the Panama border. Army officials say 3 Colombian officials were also arrested. The detainees were allegedly attempting to illegally transport the Chinese migrants to the US. Colombian officials have handed over the rescued migrants to the Chinese embassy. Mexican Navy seized over 2,400 kilograms of cocaine during an anti-drug operation off the southern coast. The narcotics were recovered from 3 speedboats. Navy officials say operators of the boat fled by the time Navy vessels caught up with the boats. South Korea has said it will issue a formal response to Japan's plan of releasing water from the Fukushima nuclear plant. South Korean officials added that they respected the report by the UN's nuclear watchdog, the IAEA, to greenlight Japan's water release. On Tuesday, the IAEA handed a report to Japan's Prime Minister Kishida. The report revealed that Japan's release of treated waters from the Fukushima plant will not impact people and the environment. In climate, Russian emergency services are battling wildfires in the far eastern regions. Forest fires erupted in Russia's areas of Siberia due to intense heat. Officials estimate the flames have scorched over almost 60,000 hectares of land. Authorities have declared an emergency in Siberia. Peru's Obinas volcano spewed ash and hot clouds on Tuesday. This caused nearby towns to get covered in the ash. Authorities have set up shelters in case evacuation is needed. Currently, there are over 2,000 people living near the volcano. Peru is home to a dozen active volcanoes. The Obinas volcano has been acting up since 2019. The Caribbean country of Cuba is facing a severe water crisis. More than 100,000 residents in the country's capital Havana are without water. This is due to rising heat, which has caused water reservoirs to dry up. Cuban authorities have begun sending water tankers to residential areas that have been affected by the water shortage. Earth recorded its hottest day ever on the 3rd of July. This is according to the National Center for Environmental Prediction in the US. The report said that Earth's average global temperatures reached 17 degrees Celsius. It surpassed the previous August 2016 record of 16.9 degrees Celsius. Scientists say heat waves across the world were causing the temperatures to rise. Meanwhile, scientists say that the El Niño weather pattern will bring more hot weather next year. El Niño is the unusual warming of the surface of the Pacific Ocean. This leads to more violent storms in the Pacific and warmer temperatures in Africa, Asia, and Australia. Experts have warned that human activity is exacerbating effects of the El Niño. The UK government is planning to drop its flagship climate pledge worth over $14.7 billion. The climate budget was created to provide developing countries with financial support to create low-carbon producing infrastructure. However, the UK's aid for Ukraine during the ongoing war with Russia has forced the country to reconsider its climate pledge. Many Britons are accusing Prime Minister Rishi Sunak of making false promises to developing countries. In business, the Bank of England is planning to force more international banks to set up their subsidiaries in the UK. It is considering the plan as a part of its review of the banking crisis earlier this year. It noted that subsidiaries are easier for local regulators to seize control in case of failure. Britain's Financial Services Minister Andrew Griffith has warned against the usage of central bank digital currencies. He said that the country should be cautious about issuing CBDCs because of privacy issues. This is after UK's Finance Ministry and the Bank of England launched a public consultation on the issuance of digital currency. A spokesperson from the Chinese Foreign Ministry has said that the latest export controls are not aimed at targeting any specific country. These comments come after China said that it would control the export of some products. These products are required for making semiconductors. India will reportedly aims to begin producing its first domestically manufactured microchips by the end of 2024. The country will begin working on the semiconductor assembly plant in August. Last month, semiconductor company Micron signed an agreement with the Indian government to build its first factory in the country. This was during Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's state visit to the US. An Indian court has ordered mobile phone manufacturer Oppo to deposit 23% of its Indian sales. This follows allegations by Nokia. It accused the Chinese smartphone maker of using its patented technology without consent. The court said that the deposit will serve as a form of royalty for the alleged infringement. Brazil's President Lula da Silva and his Argentine counterpart Alberto Fernandez have met at the Mercosur summit in Argentina. They have stressed on the urgency for the Latin American countries to take on a new international trade role. Reports say the Mercosur has been holding negotiation rounds for the trade deals with Canada, South Korea and Singapore for years. Twitter's new CEO, Linda Yaccarino, defended the company's stance on rate limit. In her tweet, she said that such moves are important to keep strengthening the platform. This was her first public comment on the temporary reading limit set by Elon Musk. Earlier this month, Musk said that users will be able to read only a specific number of posts per day. He added that the move aimed at discouraging increasing levels of data scrapping on the platform. Sweden's data privacy watchdog has urged local companies to stop using Google Analytics. The Swedish Authority for Privacy Protection has fined 2 such firms over $1 million cumulatively. It has accused them of transferring personal data to the US via the software program. This is in violation of the European Union's data protection regulation. A new study has revealed that smartwatches with accelerometers can identify Parkinson's disease. They can do so much before the condition is clinically diagnosed. According to researchers, commonly used smartwatches could be used to detect early signs of the disease. Parkinson's is a disorder of the central nervous system that affects movement, often causing tremors. Researchers are developing a drone that will have firefighting abilities. This will help in saving lives in situations like building fires or wildfires. The prototype, called Fire Drone, was inspired by the Grenfell Tower fire in London. The mishap had claimed 72 lives. Moving to sports, in cricket, the Board of Control for Cricket in India, or the BCCI, has appointed Ajit Agarkar as the new chairman of the selection committee of the men's team. The position was vacant since February. Former chairman Chetan Sharma resigned from the role after a sting operation. A 3-member cricket advisory committee headed by Ashok Malhotra recommended Ajit Agarkar for the position. In the Cricket World Cup qualifiers, Scotland beat Zimbabwe to keep their World Cup hopes alive. The Scottish side won by 31 runs in Harare on Tuesday. With this win, Scotland will now be facing the Netherlands on Thursday for the ultimate decider. Sri Lanka has already qualified for the 50-over Cricket World Cup, and Thursday's decider will announce the second entrant. In football, India won the South Asian Football Federation, or the SAFF finals. India beat Kuwait in a dramatic penalty shootout to clinch their 9th SAFF title. Both the teams tied at 1-1 after regulation time. A total of 10 yellow cards were given during the match, with 7 of them going to Kuwait. The match then went into penalties. India defeated Kuwait 5-4 in a thriller. This is India's second trophy after clinching the Intercontinental Cup last month. English footballer Mason Mount has completed the medical tests ahead of his transfer from Chelsea. Mount is moving to Manchester United for a $76 million deal. The 24-year-old took to Instagram to confirm his transfer. He also thanked his fans for their unwavering support via social media. Mount was associated with Chelsea from the age of 6 through their academy. UEFA has removed Spanish club Osasuna from the Europa Conference League. This is because former Osasuna officials were implicated in fixing matches a decade ago. The officials, who are no longer with the club, were involved in fixing matches between 2012 and 2014. The club has decided to appeal the ruling to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, or the CAS. The CAS is an international body to settle disputes related to sports through arbitration. Fernando Diniz has been appointed as the Brazilian national side's new interim coach. The position has been vacant since the resignation of Tite after Brazil's early exit in FIFA World Cup last year. Brazil has assigned Diniz as it pursues to appoint Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti for 2024 Copa America. In women's football, Arsenal has confirmed the signing of England star Alicia Russo. The 24-year-old will make a move from Manchester United. Russo has been signed for Arsenal on a free transfer. She joined United in 2020, made 59 appearances and scored 26 goals. In tennis, former world number 1 Andy Murray has entered the second round of Wimbledon 2023. Murray defeated fellow British player Ryan Peniston 6-3, 6-0 and 6-1 in straight sets. The two-time Wimbledon champion will now face a tougher test in the second round. He will play either 5th-ranked Stefanos Tsitsipas or former US Open winner Dominic Thiem. World number 2 Aryna Sabalenka defeated Hungary's Pana Udvardi at the Wimbledon. The Belarusian player entered the second round with a 6-3, 6-1 win. Sabalenka has won 36 of her 43 matches in this year. She will now face either Italy's Camila Giorgi or Varvara Grachova of France in round 2. World number 3 Elena Rybakina defeated America's Shelby Rogers in a Wimbledon opener. She defeated Rogers 4-6, 6-1 and 6-2 to advance to round 2. The defending champion won the match in an hour and 43 minutes. She will now be facing either Japan's Nao Hibino or France's Elise Cornet in the second round. Now let's shift focus to the world of entertainment. Singer-songwriter Taylor Swift is gearing up for her Eras tour. According to data from Polestar, the estimated earnings from her tour is set to cross $1 billion mark. Swift has already made more than $300 million from the first 22 dates of her tour. The singer is reportedly making more than $13 million each night. On average, about 54,000 fans, also known as Swifties, are attending Eras tour concerts. Singer Adele has commented on the latest trend of concert goers throwing objects towards artists in the middle of the performance. She asked, "Have you noticed how people are forgetting etiquette?" Adele issued a stern warning to concert goers against throwing things on stage during one of her shows, saying, "I will kill you." K-pop band 50/50 has been reportedly dropped out of the promotions of Barbie movie. This comes amid a public dispute between the singers and their agency. 50/50 was set to shoot a music video for soundtrack Barbie Dreams, which was set for a July 7 release. American singer and songwriter Meghan Trainor has welcomed her second child. Trainor shared the news of the birth of her son with husband Daryl Sabara on Instagram. The 29-year-old singer is famous for her songs including All About That Bass and Lips Are Moving. Game of Thrones actors Kit Harington and his wife Rose Leslie have welcomed their second child. The two actors met during the filming of the show in 2012 and got married in 2018. Harington revealed that he and Leslie were expecting their second child during The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon in February. Kit Harington played Jon Snow, while Rose Leslie played Ygritte in Game of Thrones. Feud between the famous Kardashian sisters seems to be worsening. A source told a news publication that Kourtney Kardashian does not need her family to make money. The source added that the oldest Kardashian sister feels proud of her brand C and is enjoying doing her own thing. Kourtney Kardashian recently got married to drummer Travis Barker and is pregnant. Media personality Kyle Richards and her real estate broker Mauricio Umansky have broken silence on divorce rumors. They wrote on Instagram, "Any claims regarding our divorcing are untrue. However, yes, we had a rough year, the most challenging one of our marriage." Richards and Umansky are best known for featuring in celebrity reality show Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. The two have been married for 27 years. The cast of Netflix hit show The Good Place recently reunited for a slumber party. The party was organized by actor Ted Danson, who played the role of Michael in the philosophical fiction series. Actors Jamila Jamil, who played Sahani, Darcy Carden, who played Janet, and William Jackson Harper, who played Chidi, attended the party. However, Kristen Bill, who played the main character Eleanor, was absent but was invited. Actor Kit Connor has revealed that he might not have come out as bisexual had fans not pressurized him. He said, and I quote, "Forced isn't the right word I would use, but I would have preferred to do it another way. But I don't regret it. It is empowering." Connor was accused of queer baiting by playing a bisexual character on drama show Heartstopper. The actor also attended Pride events during his time off. And finally, YouTuber Grace Helbig has revealed that she has been diagnosed with breast cancer. In a video, Helbig said, "It has been a whirlwind, but I wanted to let you know on the secret, get your lumps checked." Helbig has also revealed that she will undergo chemotherapy followed by surgery and hormonal therapy. The YouTuber is famous for hosting comedy talk show The Grace Helbig Show.